What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports show. I tell you what, there's not going to be a lot of messing around today. We've got a lot going on. Conference tournament play already going on. We'll try to keep you updated on what's going on with all the conference tournaments and also give you previews of the big games still to come throughout today, tomorrow, and, of course, the weekend. So, Papa Dude, you got to be in heaven. This is your sport, man.
I feel like I'm bouncing up and down like this. I've seen the ball bounce so much. Last night was unbelievable. And we're in the early rounds of these games, and top seeds are having to just scramble to win. Just saw Toledo, a 25-win team in the quarterfinals, get lucky and beat a 7-win Central Michigan team, 72-71, to survive in a league that's probably only going to get one team in. That's the pressure that these leagues that are only going to get one team in are facing. They have to win to get in. And there's a 25-win team, that almost got knocked off in the first round. It's crazy what's going on.
Yeah, it is. I'll go ahead and throw the scoreboard up now just for some games going on right now if you're watching live. Michigan handling Indiana. Look at this. Syracuse, who came into the ACC tournament with basically no shot to go to the big dance, but they got to win the ACC, and they win the first round. Buddy Boeheim punches a dude, gets kicked out of this game. At the half, they lead Duke 40-36.
Yeah, it's crazy. Back up to the Michigan Indiana game. That's an elimination game.
Yep.
I don't know for sure if either one of them is in. But whoever loses that is definitely out. And it looks like it's going to be Indiana. I think Michigan may have to win another game. I don't know, though. They're Michigan, so who knows? But you're right. The Duke, Duke is one of those teams. They've not been impressive sometimes. They were not good against North Carolina the other night. I'm sure they were sitting there knowing that Boeheim wasn't going to play today. They beat him by about 25 at Syracuse a couple of weeks ago. And we were talking before we went on the air. Syracuse is a team you don't want to play in the tournament. They're one of those teams that are hard to get out of there. But you're right. They got to win the ACC, which they could do. I mean, you knock off Duke, the league's down a little bit. Wouldn't that be crazy if they went and won that tournament?
A long ways to go to get there, but it is kind of eye-catching that they're ahead here at the half against Duke. This Butler team, they pull off an upset last night, and here they are 31-31 with our Providence club that we've liked to watch all year long. So another close one. And then you mentioned it before we got on the air, Toledo survives 72-71 over a 7-win Central Michigan team. I mean, the madness is here. It is fully upon us.
Another elimination game too, and I don't know if either one of these teams has a real chance. Florida and Texas A&M are playing in the SEC. A&M's ahead by 10 early in the second half. Whoever loses that has no chance. Probably don't anyway, but they might if some things happen and they got to the finals maybe of the SEC. I think you'd have to consider them because say A&M does, they'd have 22 wins, 23. I think it'd be 23. Have to consider them, wouldn't you? If they got,
I would think so.
Yeah,
I think the winner of that is it's going to be interesting to see how they come out.
Yeah, they still have a shot.
Yeah, for sure. Josh Eubank joined us, says Buddy Boeheim is not my buddy. Yeah, that was, that's crazy. I've never really seen anything like that out of him. No. So that was wild. And yeah, Syracuse definitely, in a team like Syracuse is one all the bubble teams do not want to see win and take a spot away. Right. But again, it's just the quarterfinals and it's just the half. So long way to go.
Long way to go.
All right. Well, on today's show, we are going to, like I said, it's going to be all basketball all show today because this, and probably for the next 2 weeks, I would think. We got a lot. Yeah, that's made me think of that too, Magic. He says, he's not your buddy, guy. Yeah, South Park reference there. So, yeah, we got basketball out the ass in the next couple of weeks. We're going to just preview the big conference tournaments. If you want to read about them, Papa Dude's got articles on all of the conference tournaments up on the site. Well, not all, but almost all up on the site now. I'm going to just pull up his articles. We're going to go through them, and he'll do the heavy lifting here and talk us through a lot of these. We'll kick it off with the Big 12. We saw a game last night. West Virginia beats Kansas State. So West Virginia will take on Kansas today. Texas and TCU playing right now in the first quarterfinal game. Texas with a lead of only 3. But kind of walk us through what you're thinking for this Big 12 tournament.
Down the stretch, did you get to thinking like me that the Big 12 may not be as good as people thought it was?
Yes. Yeah.
And it could be because it's teams knocking off teams.
I think, just to jump in real quick, not to interrupt, but I think they have a bunch of good teams.
Yeah.
But they don't have any great or elite teams.
Right. And I think all of them are just alike. And I think it's a league where it's defensive. It's a defensive league. It's not an offensive league, and the scores are pretty low most of the time. And that tends to sway you a little bit. And these teams might be better than we think, but I'm agreeing with you. I don't think Kansas is great. For those of you not familiar with the Big 12, anytime the tournament is in Kansas City, which it is, it's the home court of the Kansas Jayhawks. It's that simple. University of Kansas is about 20 minutes from Kansas City. And what happens is, now this first round game tonight, these teams that come in here, their fans will still be around, so there won't be as many Jayhawk fans in the building tonight.
Yeah.
But as these teams drop, the Kansas fans come in and buy the tickets from them, and it'll be packed for the semis and the finals. So it's always been kind of an unfair advantage in the Big 12 when the tournament's in Kansas City for Kansas. And it used to be Missouri too, when Missouri was in the Big 12. That was a huge advantage for them. I'm kind of beating around the bush here because I think Baylor's the best team.
Yeah.
I really do. And if they get to the finals against Kansas, it's going to be a home court advantage for the Jayhawks. I picked Baylor to win because I think they're better. I really do. I think Kansas can get beat by anybody. They kind of get an advantage because they got Texas. I'm not high on Texas at all. I don't think they're that good. And then Baylor's they're going to beat Oklahoma tonight. That's no question. Tech will probably beat Iowa State. That's a toss-up game. Tech can beat Baylor. Tech's one of those teams. Kind of remind me of the old Oklahoma teams when Sampson was there. They just ugly you to death. So Baylor's got the toughest road to get to the finals, I think. I don't think Kansas will have any trouble with West Virginia tonight, although they'll keep it close. So I think Baylor's going to win it if they can handle that home advantage that Kansas is going to have. I think that'll be the rubber game between those three, I believe. I believe they've split. So
yeah,
I picked Baylor. We'll see what happens.
How did you describe Texas Tech again? I liked that. What was the phrase you used?
Ugly you to death.
Oh, that's how Magic described his high school girlfriend to me. She ugly people to death. So that's funny. I like that. Did you steal that from Magic? Maybe, I don't know.
No, I didn't. I don't know his high school girlfriend, but I can imagine she probably was pretty ugly.
He deserves this abuse, and he knows why. So
okay.
All right, to get back to this,
Dennis thinking Texas will upset Kansas. I don't think so. Not in Kansas City. They might, but he doesn't like Kansas. I don't really think so either.
Yeah.
Josh says Kansas is a bit overrated. You could see him early exit in the NCAA. That happens a lot.
Yeah. Let me get back on track for my thoughts here. Look, here's the tricky thing about it. And Mark said, hey, or that wasn't it, or the bubble. Or the show should be sponsored by Extreme Bubbles Incorporated, because there's so many games this weekend and happening, even today, where the bubble could burst. And
Sure.
so I totally agree. Baylor should smoke Oklahoma. But here's the deal. If OU could beat Baylor, there's a lot of people that think OU will be in the tournament. So the motivation, and this is just the first example of many, where a lower seed has more motivation to win than the higher seed. So it makes things very interesting. I'm with you. I think Baylor beats OU, though I still going to go Baylor. I have not been impressed with Texas Tech all year. So I think Baylor is into the championship game. Dennis talked about, he thinks Texas could upset Kansas. I mean, probably one of the logical reasons you would think that. Texas almost beat Kansas on their home floor to end the season. So I'm with you, though. I think it's Baylor and the Jayhawks. I think the Jayhawks win it, though. I took Kansas in this one.
And I don't know where these people are getting that Oklahoma can get in. I don't see any way in the world they can get in.
The Oklahoma media has all said if they win tonight, they're in.
They're not.
I don't think so either. I think they would have to win 2 to get in.
I just don't see it. They're 17-14. Who in the hell have they beat?
They have a lot of wins against quadrant whatever teams. I don't know
but these teams aren't any good, with the exception of Arkansas.
Right. Yeah.
If they're not in, they're kidding themselves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Still, the motivation, I think, is there for Oklahoma more so than Baylor.
If they win 2 and get to the finals and some good things happen to some other teams, maybe. I give them a 2% chance to get it. They're not going to win tonight, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, the season ends tonight. Baylor's a much better team than Oklahoma. So you're going to go Baylor to win this one. I'm going to go Kansas. Let's go on. Okay, the next one on the list is the American Conference. So I happen to like this conference a lot.
Me too.
First round games going on today, and then we'll get into the meat of this thing. Who did you like in the American Conference?
Well, I think it's a 2-team race between Houston and Memphis. When you look at who Houston's going to have to beat, there's not much. Cincinnati's petered out. They're not very good. They should handle them. Temple might give them a little bit of game if they get by Tulane, but I just don't see anyone in that upper bracket that can beat Houston if Houston brings their game. Memphis is playing really well right now, and they thumped Houston to end the season last week. Seems like a year ago.
Yeah.
Let's say that SMU and Houston get to the Memphis get to the semis. So that's an elimination game too. Both of those teams are on the bubble, although I think Memphis, with another win, is probably safely in, and they should beat either Florida State or UCF. So, you know what? I picked Houston, but I'm not sure they're going to beat Memphis. Memphis has beat them twice. So I went ahead and picked Houston because I'm a little biased because I love Houston. So
I think, Josh does too. He really likes Houston. I do too. I'm going to go Memphis. I think they're a matchup trouble waiting to happen for Houston. We've seen it a couple times. I'm with you. I think the SMU-Memphis game is going to be huge. And you kind of answered the question I was going to ask. Do you think Memphis gets in if they just win?
I think they do, because if they win their next game, that'll give them 20.
Yeah.
This is kind of the way things work. Penny is going to help them get in.
Yeah.
Because of his name. And they are playing really well. They've really played well down the stretch, and they have 2 wins over Houston, and you can't discount those. I think they're in. I think SMU's borderline. They may have to win the tournament. They don't have the reputation these other do, but they're 22-7, and they did beat Houston once. So they deserve some consideration. I will say this, Josh. I'm a big Houston fan because I love their coach. I don't think they're anywhere near what they were last year.
Yeah.
They're just not as good. So,
of course, Houston, a Final Four team last year. I mean, Houston, if it comes out Houston Temple on one side, SMU Memphis on the other, that's about as much as you could ask for a smaller conference. That's going to be a really good semifinal and championship. All right, let's move on, though. We got the next one on the list, the SEC, and this one's going to be wild as it always is.
nuts.
Yes, second round starting off right now. Of course, A&M beating Florida, like we mentioned. Last night, Missouri was able to beat Ole Miss, Vanderbilt over Georgia. So, all right, SEC, what do we got here? Who do you like in this one? It's going to be wild.
I would just not bet any money on this and just enjoy it because
yeah,
this one's tough. There's no clear-cut favorite. The one team I didn't take is Auburn. I just don't think they're going to get there.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think we could see an upset of Alabama also. I think, where are they? I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, that's right. They play Vanderbilt tonight.
Yes.
I think Vanderbilt beats them. I kind of think they do.
Okay.
I took South Carolina as my best bet today over Mississippi State.
I like that. Yeah.
Mississippi State is struggling.
Yep.
And they're favored to beat South Carolina, so I like that one.
Yep.
I think LSU won't have any trouble with Missouri. I think they'll get them. And then the Florida A&M game's an elimination game for sure. I think the winner, if Arkansas can get through, they're going to have to beat Auburn again. And that, if Auburn can get by Florida or A&M, which I think they will. I think those semifinal games will be Auburn, Arkansas, and Kentucky and Tennessee. Don't you? I really think that is logical. Yeah. There could be an upset along the way, though. I like the Kentucky-Tennessee winner to win it. So I think Arkansas might beat Auburn. Another thing great about this tournament, you couldn't have picked a better place to have a neutral site. Mm-hmm. It's in Tampa, Florida. And there's really no SEC ties that much to Tampa. I think that was brilliant having it there. This is a totally neutral site, in my opinion. So I like Kentucky. I think that's who I picked. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else wins for sure.
I picked Kentucky as well. Dennis likes how Tennessee's playing. I like how Tennessee's playing as well. Here's why I didn't pick Arkansas. If their first game is LSU, well, that is going to be a war. They almost got beat to LSU the last time they played. And then, like you said, if they win, then they got to go up and play Auburn, and Auburn is going to be ready for them after what happened. So I think Arkansas's path to win this thing is really, really tough.
You're right. They couldn't have had a worse draw
than
to get a possible game with LSU.
Yeah.
Because LSU's big, physical, pretty good too. The other one that would have been bad if they had to go up against Tennessee. That would have been tough too.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good teams in the SEC.
Yeah, for sure. Georgia last night, they're just awful. And, Tom Crean may just be a guy that, he had a few good seasons, got to a bigger school, and, he didn't do much at Indiana and not doing much there either. Kelvin Sampson linked to the Louisville job. That would be interesting if he went there.
Well, he says he wishes not going to happen.
Yeah.
I cannot see Kelvin leaving Houston. Kelvin's old.
Yeah.
He's got to be 65, 66 years old probably. Why does he want to go build something in Louisville? I mean, why would you leave Houston when you can win 25 down there? I would be kind of dumb, I think. I don't know what they're paying him, but I bet you they're paying him pretty well.
I think in this stage of his career and what he's been through, maybe more so than the first statement, he probably just would rather hang out in Houston, kind of be under the radar as far as the media goes. Yeah. You go to Louisville, there's no doubt it's an upgrade, but he's back in the limelight day in and day out. It probably doesn't suit him very well. He'd do a good job though. No question.
He would do a great job. The problem is if he left at his age, you gotta think about that. He's going to have to go to the ACC, and it's a hell of a lot harder to win 25 in the ACC than it is where he's at. And at his age, I think that's where he's sitting. I don't think he's thinking about leaving. I can't imagine him doing that.
Mark chimes in and says Alabama is a team he can't figure out, and I can't either. I get them wrong every time, Mark. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. It's like Papa Dude said, I wouldn't be shocked if Vanderbilt beats them tonight.
No.
I certainly don't think Alabama can beat Kentucky. So I think it's a one win or no wins for them.
Yeah, I've watched them a little. Some they can't close out games.
Yeah,
they can't win them down in the last 6-7 minutes. Something's missing. So
there'll be a team in the tournament next week when we talk about it. We're like, yeah, they might be able to upset somebody. So
you bet.
Time to tune in for that. Paul chimes in and says, will there be a Dudes Who Bet Sports bracket pool? Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we can set that up on ESPN, give people it out, and they can join in. So I'm sure we will do something like that for sure.
That will be fun. And guys, it'll all depend on if Aaron has time, because I don't know how to do that.
Next week, the racing is light. So
okay, great.
For March, at least it's light.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. Yeah. Papa Dude being mean today. He called Magic's girlfriend in high school ugly and says, why would anybody want to go to Louisville? So
no, that's not what I said. I'm getting tired of getting misquoted. I got in a big fight on Twitter last night, and I did not say what they're accusing me of saying. I said, I don't see why he would leave Houston in the situation he's got, which is absolutely the best, and go to Louisville and have to build a program in the ACC where it's harder to win. That's what I said.
That's right. You said who would go to Louisville, and also Magic girlfriend's ugly. Okay, Big Ten tournament time.
If Kelvin was 40 or 45, yes. I just don't think he's gonna do that now.
Oh, it's funny you're learning the world of Twitter and all that. That's
yeah.
You'll have that deleted before long.
It's all right.
Okay, back. Listen, Magic's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, high school girlfriend, probably lives in Big Ten country. Maybe, I bet. So we'll go there.
Are you going to fill me in on this, or is there a story, or what?
No story.
Okay. All right.
It's just it's Thursday. You know what that means? Be mean to Magic. All right, Big Ten country. Here we go. This is going to be just a circus of a tournament. These teams are so damn close. I mean, even like a 10 seed could win this thing. Honestly, it's going to be wild. All right, Big Ten. Who do you like? Who'd you pick?
I hate the conference because they've killed me so much.
Yeah. Go on.
She lives like 3 miles away. For those of you that are not seeing this live, I'm in the dark too. So anyway, I can't pick this one at all. I mean, I miss every game. Doesn't matter. I'm not picking a game in this tournament. I had a parlay yesterday, and I thought I was going to get it.
Yep.
Because I had Nebraska over Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nebraska had won 3 in a row. They lost right at the end.
Yep.
And there went my parlay, which that's my fault. I like Illinois some. They're going to get the winner of this Indiana-Michigan game next. I think they can handle that one. Rutgers being in there in that 4 spot, that's interesting. Also, I like the way Iowa's playing. Not sure they beat Northwestern, though. It's just, you don't know. You can't bet Michigan State or Ohio State. You do, and you're nuts. You don't know what they're going to do. Absolutely no idea. I picked Purdue because I think they're the best team. But I would not lay a penny on it. What do you think?
I think, I don't know. I like Wisconsin. I think they can win it. I think that's who I'm going to pick, but I'm with you. Like you said, don't bet on the SEC. Just enjoy it. This for me, this won't get a dime of my. This conference has killed me so much.
Oh, it's awful.
If we are sitting here Sunday and Michigan won this, I'm not going to be surprised, right? Like,
no,
Michigan State could do it. You know, they could beat Wisconsin in the first round, and it's. I don't know. It's a wild league. I think the games will be fun to watch, but I think if you're betting on this, you're just gonna.
I think Purdue's the best, but they don't play like that all the time. Mm-hmm. I really liked Wisconsin until the last game, and Nebraska ran them out of their own building.
I know. It was unbelievable.
So kind of soured on them a little bit.
Yeah.
So would you be surprised if Rutgers got through? I wouldn't either. I mean, they beat all these teams once. I would be surprised. What am I saying? I would be shocked. But
I would be a little surprised with
do you
Rutgers.
think Rutgers is in?
I don't know.
They're 18-12. I think they have to win a game. I really do.
I do too. I think if they go out in the first round, they're going to go out.
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know. And they're the 4 seed. So,
let's say Iowa beats them. Is an 18-13 Rutgers team going to get in? I don't think so.
I don't think they have the clout. It goes back to what you're talking about,
Yeah.
In the end of the day, they're going to look at it like, it's Rutgers and they're 18-13. Nobody's going to get real mad if we leave.
That's right. That's right. Nobody's going to say anything. Now, if it's 18-13 Michigan, oh boy, we better put them in.
Yeah, I know.
And then you got these dumb bunnies down there, Ohio State. They suck. They're not good. They're 19-11. They had a non-conference game back, way before Christmas. I think they beat somebody. So what? It's how you're playing now. And they ain't playing very good. So
no, they suck. Before we move on to the next conference, Dennis wants to know who in the NCAA tournament goes the farthest out of the Big Ten.
God,
stuff.
I don't know. It's hard to say, Dennis. You got to see the brackets. You got to see who matches up, where they go, where they have to go play at, stuff like that. It's hard. I think Purdue's got the best chance to go the farthest. I think they have the best team. But like I say, they lost 6 games in the Big Ten Conference, so definitely beatable. That's who I would pick, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's very matchup dependent, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the name beats out your resume, sadly, when you have past credibility.
Absolutely.
That's what it comes to. They're going to tell you that's not how it is, but that's how it is. So.
Josh says Illinois goes the furthest. I can't argue with that either.
I think they've got the most consistent is not something that like you say about a Big Ten team, but they have been fairly consistent.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. So I think Josh might be right about that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The Big East. We've talked about this conference seemingly all year and how much we've enjoyed it. Listen, we got Butler and Providence going at it now. We talked about, let's check in on that game. Actually,
34-33. I just checked.
34-33, 17 minutes ago. Butler leads the number 1 seed Providence. We got Creighton and Marquette. You got Villanova. You got UConn. I mean, these are really, really good teams. Who did you pick to win this one?
Well, before we get into this, I just glanced. This is going to shock you. The last time we checked the Michigan-Indiana game, Michigan was ahead by 15.
Okay.
Indiana's ahead 67-64.
I tell you what, I'm going to leave this up on the screen so we can follow it while you talk about this Big East tournament.
Well, you need to put that bracket back up there first. I'm sorry.
Oh, now, damn it. Okay.
Well, I can't remember all this. And by the way, Syracuse is 6 up on Duke in the second half. I'm telling you, these things are nuts.
See, if you could freaking remember, we could leave this up on the screen.
Okay, I'll try.
Go ahead.
All right. So we got Butler 14-18 ahead of the number 1 seed in the second half. And it took a miracle for them to get in last night over Xavier. Xavier couldn't make a free throw. They would have won the game. And Xavier's officially out, by the way. They had to win that game. So they could beat Providence. It's not going to shock me if they do. And if they do, so you got a 15-18 into the semis.
Yep.
This conference.
And to go back to what Mark was talking about with Syracuse, Butler is another one. No bubble team wants to see Butler win.
No. And all these teams are just alike. I stayed up last night watching the Seton Hall game.
Yep.
They should have lost.
I know.
Georgetown hadn't won a game in the Big East. Had not won a game. They were like 6-24, 0-19 in the conference this year. And Seton Hall, who has been playing great, beat them 57-53, and we're lucky to do so. So this is crazy. I think I picked Villanova just because I think they're the safest.
That's what I did too. They're playing the best right now.
Yeah. So that's who I went with. Great conference, though. It's been fun to watch.
Let's check in on it here. Indiana's still up 3. Syracuse now up only by 2, and Butler by 1. So there's a lot to be decided.
Oh boy, you bet.
Next few minutes. Texas up big on TCU.
Oh, that surprises me a little bit. They're ahead that far.
Yeah, 40-22 at the half. We kind of get everybody updated. And like I said, if you like basketball, it's just
turn
fun.
on the TV, skip work, whatever.
Oh, that would be nice. Okay, let's move back to let's go on to the Pac-12. We talked about this conference, another one, a lot. Played out in Las Vegas. Boy, it'd be fun to be out there in Vegas for this. So, all right, we've got, we've beat Arizona, UCLA, USC to death. Those are the 3 good ones. We talked about Oregon a lot as well. Who do you like in this Pac-12 tournament?
Well, I think it's just 3 teams.
Yeah.
I just don't see anybody else. Colorado has a shot, maybe. I think they won 20. I believe they have.
20 and 2.
They got Oregon today, and they have to beat them. I give them 21. Let's say they knock off Arizona. Wouldn't you think they'd have a shot? Ain't going to happen. But wouldn't you think they have a shot? I would.
They could definitely. Yes.
Yeah, they give you 22, and I think you're in.
Yeah.
I picked Arizona because they're far and away the best team in the league, I think, and they're my number 1 seed in the tournament. So in the big dance, if they play, I don't think anybody can beat them out of the Pac-12. And then the USC, UCLA, probably, if things go right, are going to get each other in the semis. So one of them will be knocked out. That'll be a dog-eat-dog game, and you got to come back and beat Arizona? I don't think so. Who knows?
I'm with you. I think Arizona does it. I don't think it'll get, well, I'm not going to say that. It's always scary in March, but I do think Arizona is the better team. And they'll get the job done. But again, like if they get in that Arizona-Colorado matchup, Colorado really needs to win. Arizona's probably a number 1 seed anyway.
Yes.
That's where the motivation, and that's what I'm talking about. It starts to get a little sketchy. So tread lightly when that happens, because I think it's certainly a possibility they can get upset.
Yeah, and you get that game, and it's probably going to be 10, 12 points spread, maybe more. You better not bet that. I didn't bet Arizona today at 15 over Stanford. That's too many. That's just a lot of points.
Dennis says he thinks it's a 1-team tournament, and that's Arizona. He thinks Arizona leaps and bounds better. I tend to agree overall. If talent wins out, I think I think Arizona wins.
Again, as Aaron said, it comes down to motivation.
Yeah.
Who's going to be more motivated? So.
All right, we'll move on to one we've all been waiting for, the MAC. And I can't believe you posted this one.
Well, I was so proud of myself that I figured out how to post brackets that I just kept going, on some of these. So
you've done a very good job. These look very good on the site. I have to give you credit. Listen, we talked about, who were we talking about?
Toledo.
Okay, I think you put in the wrong thing because they were playing Central Michigan, and you've got them here against Ball State. Have you put in the girls?
I probably put last year's in there, I bet.
All right.
See, you're bragging on me too quick.
I knew I shouldn't have. So Toledo is don't look at that. Is Toledo your pick to win this conference?
Yes. They're the most consistent. I tell you a team, you better watch, and that's Kent State. Kent State has played better than anybody down the stretch. I can't believe I know this, but I do. Ohio is pretty good too. So big game also tonight, Buffalo and Akron. Those are 2 good teams. This league is pretty good, and I think they deserve two teams out of it. They're not going to get it, but I think they do. Look at that. Indiana 71-64.
Yeah, Indiana now leads by 7. This could be it for Michigan for sure. Butler with a 1-point lead, and then Duke, Syracuse tied. Yeah. All right. Let's see if you get this one. Now, you didn't even post the bracket on this one.
Because there's just 4 games.
Okay. Well,
in the Ivy League, the Ivy League sports doesn't mean much to them. Mm-hmm. So only the top 4 teams get to play in the tournament.
Okay.
The others are out.
So who you taking here? Princeton,
no doubt.
Okay. So Princeton wins the Ivy League. They play Cornell and Penn and Yale. I probably will not tune into those or tune into the MAC. I'm not going to lie.
I like to watch Kent State. They're kind of fun. Now these next four here, no.
Now let's move on to the MEAC.
MEAC, that's right.
Norfolk State is your pick to win the MEAC.
They were way ahead of everybody else in that conference, so they're logical to win.
Let's see, when does that one kick off? That is going on. The quarterfinals start tonight. So
Norfolk won last night.
Okay, the MEAC, the SWAC. You're picking Southern.
Yeah, this is a terrible conference. I thought Alcorn State. Now they about beat me last night. They go back to that here. I got to see that. I can't remember all this stuff. Alcorn State did not play they played their first 16 games on the road. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
No. Why?
They didn't play their first home game until January the 15th.
Wow.
And then when they went into conference, they went 14-4. They were 1-11. No, that's not right. I don't know what they were. But anyway, they won 2 or 3 conference games on the road before they finally played at home. And I remember when they played OU, that I think it was about the 9th or 10th game of the year. They went to OU, then they went to Texas. I think they played Kansas. I mean, they just did the round trip of the Big 12 there for a while. Craziest thing I ever heard of. So anyway, last night they played a horrible team, and they won by 1 point. Won it right at the last. Southern, I think, is the best over-round team in that, but I didn't give that much thought, to be honest.
I wouldn't think. All right, the Big Sky. Dennis has some good stuff. The Mac's little brother, that's the MEAC.
There you go. Nice.
And the Mac's cousin is the SWAC.
Nice. That's good. Yeah.
How about this? The Big Ten's cousin is the Big Sky.
Okay.
So
we have the Big West. We have the Big South.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Montana State is your pick to win the Big Sky Conference.
Tough conference. Some pretty good teams in there. Look, there's like 5 of them that won at least 18. It's pretty good. Montana State won their regular title or regular season. Kind of looked at them a little bit, bet them a couple times. They've come on all right. So I think they're the best out of the bunch.
Ancestry.com basketball going on right now. Mark Heft. I think Magic's junior high girlfriend lives somewhere in this Big Sky Conference.
Oh, the Big Sky for a big girl.
That's right. Yes. Big Sky for a big girl.
I know he likes them big. I know that.
That's not true. All right.
No.
That's not true.
Oh.
His current wife is a saint, by the way. Just all his exes.
Has to be.
yeah. Just all his exes were bad. All right. Finally, the Southland tournament. You got Nichols.
Never heard of him.
Not to be confused with quarters or pennies, but Nichols.
Yeah. I thought it was Nicholls State, but it just said Nichols. So, I mean, this is one who cares. Listen, Magic, I don't know what's going on this. I'm just trying to be funny. So never seen your wife. So I guess I ought to just shut up.
She's a great gal. I really like.
She has to be.
Mrs. Magic is a saint. Is definitely Dennis, we're killing Dennis. All right. Are there any other stupid ass? Oh yes, there is. All right. The Mountain West.
We're getting bored with this. I can tell.
Oh, well, I wasn't until we got to those. The Mountain West. No,
I don't know why you covered those anyway.
Well, okay. Well, because they're on the site. The Mountain West is going to be a great tournament.
You bet.
Be serious again. Wyoming, UNLV, the 4-5 game is going to be excellent. All these games are going to be good. Who do you like to win the Mountain West?
This is really a toss-up. I think Boise State's the toughest. I've watched them with some. And they're not impressive, not at all, but they win. And it's hard to pick against them. This is an underrated league. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not convinced they're going to get 4 teams in. I think a lot's going to depend what some of these bigger conferences do. Everybody's saying they get 4. I'm not sure. I'm worried about Wyoming, Mark. I think they need to win tonight. I think they win tonight, they're in. So Colorado State and San Diego State. That's going to be a great game. I think I might have picked San Diego State. Scroll down there, and I'm not sure.
It looks like you picked Boise State.
Okay. I went with the most consistent team of all of them.
I think that's fair. All right. Atlantic 10 Conference. Who did you go with here? And I'll scroll down. You picked Dayton. So tell us why.
Wow. Well, that's a good pick. There's another league. I'm shocked that they're not, that they're not talking about them getting in more than one. And these are some pretty good schools that have played well in the tournament. I kind of think they're going to get two. I love Davidson, that, but they're not playing very well. And they've struggled to win. They've won some games, I think, just because they're Davidson. Dayton's playing the best of anybody right now, so that's who I picked. That semifinal game, Dayton and Virginia Commonwealth, if it gets to that, that may be an elimination game there too, because both of them are playing really, really well. I've had Davidson in it all year long, but kind of are fading a little bit. I think it'll be a crime if they only get one team.
I agree. Yeah, the Flyers, obviously, very good team. Listen, the Billikens, baby. The Billikens are winning this.
Exactly. And you got St. Bonaventure. It's pretty good too.
Billikens are winning.
The problem, that game is played in those games. I think is it Washington, D.C.? Scroll back up. I got that up there somewhere.
Oh, hold on here.
Yeah, it's in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Yeah, Washington, D.C.
Long way for St. Louis to go. Kind of, I don't know whether that makes any difference or not.
I think it will. But St. Louis, they're going to be ready.
Tough for them.
Give me the Billikens to win that one. All right. Is that all the ones that you've done?
That's it, because the others are done. They've already played.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yes. That's it. That's all. That's all we've got. I'll throw the scoreboard back up.
Yeah. Get that back up there.
Let's give you a little bit of an update here. Indiana up 4 with now 4 seconds to go. It looks like it's over. Indiana is going to beat Michigan.
Now, surely to God, Michigan's out.
That you would think that would effectively eliminate Michigan. They're now 17 and 14.
It's got to.
Joshua lives in St. Louis. Haven't watched them. I haven't either.
I don't think anybody in St. Louis has either.
No, I just like to say Billikens. More updates here, though, on as Indiana, this game's over. So Indiana does beat Michigan, comes from way behind to win. Duke up 62-60 now, 10 minutes to go on Syracuse. Syracuse fighting for their lives. Duke now in front. Butler has a 49-45 lead with 11 minutes to go over Providence. Let's see. A&M's up 10 over Florida. Let's see. George Mason, Fordham doesn't mean much. Texas now up by 14. And then Cincinnati up 1 over East Carolina. So a lot going on. Keep an eye on this Butler situation and the Duke Syracuse game, obviously. So
Dennis has got, I read about this today.
Okay. This?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Bellarmine. Have you ever heard of them?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to read Dennis's explanation here. I was hoping he could do better than this, but they should be allowed in if they are considered D2 and everyone else is D1, then beat them. If you don't want them in, then beat them.
So, yeah, I guess this team won the tournament. But there's a 4-year process to jump from D1 or to D2 to D1. And they won the tournament. So now they're in their conference tournament. Now they're in, but they can't go.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been allowed to even play the tournament, right? I think that's what he's saying. Right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think what he's saying is if they get to show up and play the tournament, if they win, they should be in.
I think so too. That doesn't make any sense. That really doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Some stuff just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Magic just sent me a picture of his ex-girlfriend, so I've got that. We could share it on the screen.
Yeah, but we don't know this for sure.
Well, it's he's with her. He's in a picture. Let's see where they're at here. Looks like they're up real high on a tower of some sort, looking over.
Was he going to push her off of it? Oh no.
No, looks like there's like a cage where you can't jump or be pushed off of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
the only way she would go up there with him, probably.
I gotta be honest, she's not bad. She's not bad at all. Yeah.
He
there you
still
go.
has a picture of his old girlfriend. That's not good, Magic.
He's
Oh, the
in-
Eiffel Tower. No.
You're not at the real Eiffel Tower, you lion sack. The building, not the sex position. That's not the real Eiffel Tower. There's no way. Maybe the one in Vegas, Magic. Come on.
Oh my gosh. That's-
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's all we've got basketball wise. Yeah. So
I got a rant or two. Do you?
yeah, I was gonna say we'll end this early here. Oh, here she is hold on. Here's another picture.
He is showing you more than one picture of her.
Yeah, and this looks like they are legitimately at the Eiffel Tower. Wow. I don't know how to share on the screen. or
Well,
I
here's
would,
the thing. Is your wife in the house?
Yes. Yeah.
She
Oh.
doesn't care that you have these pictures?
Are you talking to me or Magic?
Magic.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
Is Magic's wife in the house?
Magic keeps a lot of things. So.
Well, it doesn't matter, Magic.
All right, go for your rant. Go
When
on with
you
your
get-
rant.
When she files for divorce, Magic, this is not going to go over real well. So
Magic's been to the Eiffel Tower twice, and it is
Really?
in Paris. We're learning. So
he's been to Paris twice.
yeah.
I'll be darned.
Evidently. Okay, go on your rant. What do you want to
That's
rant about
twice
today?
more than I would ever even want to go to Paris. So
Yes.
no desire
No.
to
me
go to
neither.
Paris. Well, this is just something that popped up. You know, getting on Twitter, I'm not sure is necessarily a good thing, but one of the guys down in Oklahoma posted the salaries
Mhm.
for next year's or the coaching staff at OU. And before I get into this, I'm not blasting Oklahoma for this. This is everybody's, Alabama, Georgia, big boys. I'm sure they're doing this. They're paying their coaches outlandish
Yeah.
salaries. So again, I posted last night, and of course, the idiot OU fans think that I was bashing Oklahoma, which I was not, and I made it perfectly clear for everyone. I'm not knocking Oklahoma. I'm knocking the principle of this.
One thing I've learned about Oklahoma fans, wow, are they sensitive? Holy
they really are.
cow. We've never really had like something like this happen with a coach, but holy cow,
Yeah.
guys, like you are sensitive.
You are,
Unbelievable.
and it's like you got little man syndrome or something.
100% they have
Yeah.
little man syndrome.
Get that
Yes,
chip
it's
off your
awful.
shoulder. You
Oh
want
my God. Yeah.
You want to be big boys, but you act like little girls. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
time you grew up. And I wasn't knocking them anyway. I just thought this is outlandish. So I went through and I totaled these up for just the coaching staff on the field, plus the strength coach. They're paying their football coaching staff $16 million in salary.
Right.
And I said, this is laughable. This is not right. Oh my God, I got called every name in the book. Now there were several people that agreed with me.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to point out this is out of whack. And this doesn't count the support staff, the secretaries, the equipment people, all the people that work within just the Oklahoma football program. Probably would up this to 17 or 18 million, probably. And it doesn't count what you're paying the AD. Well, he's probably getting 2 million. And this is ridiculous. Now, so I tried to point out, okay, all these guys do is coach football. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do anything else. They don't teach. Sometimes I think people think these guys teach classes in college. No. You know what they're doing right now? Not a damn thing. They're sitting around with their feet up on a desk. The video thing's probably on. They're watching some stupid film from 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
That's what they're doing. Sorry, but that's what they're doing. Okay. Now, let's transfer this to high school. No, I know it's not the same thing. High school coaches teach.
Yep.
Now, some of them teach PE, but they're still in a damn gym with kids causing trouble and upsetting them. Believe me, even coaching PE is a pain in the butt. I've done it for a long time. They teach a full load. They coach. They're gone just as much as these jokers. They're not riding around in private jets. They're in school buses. And I'll bet you none of them make 100,000.
I wouldn't think. I mean, maybe your bigger, like the big schools.
In
I would say
Texas,
like your
maybe,
your
Florida.
football coaches in Texas probably.
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
This is nuts what has
Mhm.
happened. And again, I'm not knocking the coaches. They're not the ones getting paid. It's like when we make fun of Mahomes for getting $50 million a year. That's not his fault.
well, yeah, right. I mean, they're the ones getting paid, but they're not
Yeah.
the ones that.
So I want to be the first to say we better win the damn national championship next year if we're paying these guys this kind of money.
Well,
right?
that is part of why coaches are under the pressure. They always
exactly.
are. But that's part of the reason. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, Brent Venables could literally murder a child, and I don't think people would be mad at him at Oklahoma. He's
No,
that
probably
kind of figure. And I keep telling people, oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I said one game, he
Yeah.
loses one, and everybody will hate him, and they'll say he's overrated,
Yeah.
and they'll say he's getting overpaid.
You're right. I made that comment the other night. I said, I love this guy. I think he's fantastic. He's saying everything right. I can't wait till the season. But what are you guys going to do when he loses 2 games or one?
They're going to turn. And here's why. Here's the deal. Our statement of you'll turn on him just like that.
Mhm.
Oh, we have proof. You ran him out of town. People forget about that. They wanted him fired as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he didn't know anything. He was a terrible coach. He can't coach anybody. And that's what'll happen. And then when you make that comment, they call you, you're a Texas fan.
Yeah.
You're not an OU fan, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you go, no, I'm realistic. I've seen what's happened.
Well, no.
And I love the guy. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I have watched stuff that I saw an interview the other day. I just was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
By the stuff he says. And, but once he loses, he's not going to be the fair-haired boy that, and you couldn't say anything wrong about Lincoln Riley either. And they bash you.
Yeah.
Not now. You say anything good about Lincoln Riley and they bash you. That's how they turn on people.
Yeah.
And again, I want to reiterate, I'm not saying these guys, I guess I am saying it. They don't really deserve that kind of money. Not the assistants.
But they're getting paid market value. Like
they
didn't set the market.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But when you're paying your running backs coach $400,000 a year, I think that's a little too much.
It could be a little bit. Yeah.
And you're paying your strength and conditioning coach $650,000 to get in there and go, lift those weights. Come on, work harder. Come on.
Right.
You can do it. There's at 650,000. You're paying your offensive line coach 820,000 to coach the offensive line,
right?
Which is very, very important. Don't get me wrong. You're not any good if you don't have a good offensive line. $820,000. And I guarantee he's got his feet propped up on the desk right now, eating a Tootsie Roll, probably. And I love the guy. He's great.
Yeah.
I like all these guys.
Yeah.
Your offensive coordinator, $1.8 million. We better have the best offense that's ever been trotted out on the field.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Well, and what it forces you to do with the market like this, you got a guy like Brent Venables, who again I'm a fan of, always have been.
Me too.
Was not part of the mob to try to get him fired the first time he was there, but he's a first-time head coach, right? This is his
Yeah.
first head coaching job, and he's getting $7 million.
7 million and hasn't proven anything.
No, and listen, as big a fan I am of his, and I have confidence in him.
I do
The
too.
fact is, this could not work out.
Don't-
And you're giving this guy $7 million.
Yeah.
So, but that's where it's at. They're going
It
to the
is.
SEC. And if they're going to get, a coach of any kind of, caliber, that's what you're going to have to pay for him.
You do.
Yeah.
And it's just out of control.
Yeah.
And when's it going to end? I don't know, but I was just shocked when I saw not Venables. That did not surprise me because I know what head coaches make.
Yeah.
And listen, I think if anybody deserves it, they do, because the pressure that they're under, the fact you no longer have your life anymore. Not that I feel sorry for them, because I don't.
Right.
But, it's a tough job. It really is. And then when you consider how much money they're bringing into the university, if they win, it kind of justifies. Because the Oklahoma football program, as Alabama, as Georgia, as in most major universities that have a good football team, they pay for the entire athletic program.
Mm-hmm.
But I was dumbfounded. And I'm not that naive, but I was dumbfounded when I saw these salaries. I just was dumbfounded.
Mark makes a good point. He said it's hard for the average blue collar fan to keep supporting all teams and sports with inflation and ticket prices. Here's something interesting. It hasn't happened at OU, thank God. We've had season tickets for many, many, many years, and you just pay for the ticket, right? So, talking to my uncle, and they called about Arkansas football season tickets, and the ticket price wasn't bad at all. But then you have to pay like a $2,000 licensing fee to have the seat.
Yeah. In order to get the ticket, you have to pay $2,000 to get the ticket, and then pay for the ticket also.
Exactly. And they're doing this everywhere. I'm shocked they haven't done it at Oklahoma. And it's like, as much as we love Oklahoma, when they do that, that's it. We're not doing that.
No.
Why would we? Why would anybody?
Yeah.
Think about how dumb this is. This will be my rant. You're asking someone to give you money to have the privilege to buy a seat to a football game.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Which is overpriced to begin with.
Right. The ticket's too high to begin with. All the OU's tickets aren't really that bad.
But they're not.
Well, compared to other schools, they're very reasonable. It's not an expensive ticket. I'm not saying they're cheap, but what I'm saying is that kind of stuff is crazy. And there's going to be a time where it just busts and everybody's like, piss on it. I'm not doing this.
Well, as you know, Aaron and I, you and I have talked about this together all the time. It's getting to be almost too much for us now.
Yeah.
For me anyway, because all the games are on television. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Now, with asking fans to pay this, you can sit in your living room and watch every game, and you can see the game better at home than you can in the stadium. When we first got those tickets eons ago, they were on 4 times a year, and now they're on all the time. You can find them. I mean, there's only like 30 channels of football on Saturdays, and they're going to be on one of them. But everybody's got the same problem, and they're pricing themselves out almost. And OU did not have all the season ticket holders come back from the COVID thing. There was a lot of people that didn't renew their tickets. And so anyway, this just boggled my mind when I saw it. I absolutely could not believe it. I knew Venables was making that much, but the assistants, that was shocking. I thought maybe the coordinators, maybe $1 million, but the other guys, I thought maybe 300, 400,000. But the lowest one on here is $300,000 a year. And that's to a first-year coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good little salary to come right out of college, $300,000. That's not bad. That's a good start.
Yeah, not bad at all.
No,
for sure.
So,
having other people chime in. The alumni fee for Louisville season tickets is crazy. And then the Louisville, Kentucky game was going for $310. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's right. Like, I can remember going to a Cardinals game. You can get a bleacher seat for like $10, and,
Right.
and yeah, it's cheap, but it's not anymore.
No.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know how people can afford to have Blues and Cardinals season tickets.
I don't either.
I just don't know how you could pay for those. I guess a lot of those are corporations that buy some of those tickets. But there's so many games,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially baseball.
I could never have baseball season tickets. There's just too many games.
Yeah.
I'm the type that if I have a season ticket, I feel like I gotta I gotta go. I gotta use them, and there's just no way I could do that.
No, I couldn't either.
Yeah. Anything else? Or are we good to go for today?
No, I don't think so. I think we're ready. Now let's check these scores one more time here. Holy cow, 78-77. Syracuse is playing their tails off.
Yeah, Syracuse got it to 1 with 4 minutes to go. Butler and Providence tied.
This is a typical Big East game, especially Providence. They don't beat anybody by more than 4 or 5.
I was going to say we've watched Providence so many times win these kind of games, right? I mean, I just feel like they're going to find a way to win this thing. Yeah, those are the two big ones still going on here. I'll scroll one more time to kind of see.
What's the Texas one now?
Let's see. Texas is up 10.
Okay.
And Texas A&M is up 10. And 41-40. These other games don't have a lot of meaning.
No, they don't have much going here.
So it's really these two here.
These two are going to be. What's the one up above it?
Oh, that's OU Baylor.
Oh, that's okay.
It has been marked as my favorite OU, so it puts them on the top. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, 78-77 Duke, and then 55-55 in the Butler Providence game. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Papa Dude, I didn't make you look at the races. You probably did not look at the Tampa Bay.
I did
Derby.
not. Which track is that?
It's a Tampa Bay Downs. Would be I think it's the 12th.
The Tampa Bay Derby this week.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish I had an answer for you, Mark.
I think, well, listen, Mark, I'm not going to tell you my answer. Tune in to the Blinkers Off show later on. We'll talk about
it. Yeah. Dennis, I did see the Louisville game last night.
Yeah, Virginia.
Heartbreaker for sure.
Yep. That's yeah, it was. It definitely was. Looks like rain starting to fall at Gulfstream Park as well. So,
by the way, Mark, do you want any Blues tickets? I might be able to sell you a couple cheap.
Why? You have Blues tickets?
I'm going. I tell you what, I'm not sure they're going to make the playoffs, and I ain't going if they're not. So, I'm not. Why would I want to go watch a hockey game and then my team's not even going to make the playoffs in late April? No way.
It's true.
They play Minnesota, I think, on the 8th. And Sandy got 2 tickets, but I don't know. They're going to start playing better.
Yeah, we'll see. See what happens. They've lost 3 in a row, and
not
won the other night.
I don't feel good about tonight. I know you picked them, but I don't feel good.
50s goal. Listen, you can blame Bennington all you want. He hasn't been the problem, or Husso's been the problem these last few games. They can't score any goals. It's been bad.
Everybody says, and I haven't got to watch them a whole bunch in these last 3. I did watch most of the game the other night, but I was kind of diverted back and forth, switching channels. Everybody says they're not skating hard or playing hard. I'm assuming that's probably true.
Yeah, they haven't looked very good. Hopefully they'll turn it around tonight against the Rangers. They're going to have to. They'll get blown out of the building tonight.
Yeah, they'll get crap beat out of them tonight. And it's not getting any easier.
No, but you know what? They play better when they play teams that are better. So
they do, and a win tonight would really be a boost. That's for sure.
Big time.
Yep.
All right. Tune in today. Later today, we will have the Tampa Bay late pick 4. Also, Mark, you can turn into the Magic Mike show. Magic and Samich will have the late pick 4 from Tampa Bay Downs. They'll be going over that. And then Jared and I tonight talking about all things Tampa Bay Derby. Plus, we'll talk about the Azaria at Oaklawn and some undercard races at Tampa Bay. So a lot of racing coverage coming up. A lot coming up on the site, as always. Next week, Papa Dude, I was thinking we move the Monday show to Sunday, and we come on after the brackets have been revealed. What do you think of that?
Okay, sure.
Okay, and then I'm thinking of moving the Thursday show to like Wednesday, so we're on a day before.
Be a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
so look for us Sunday and Wednesday next week. Kind of adjust around the tournament. So
He's always thinking, folks.
that's right. That's right. It's like I've done
Always
this
thinking.
before.
So that would probably be like on Sunday around 7, probably.
Yeah, I would say like, we usually do 6 o'clock on Monday. It'll be 6 o'clock Sunday, probably.
Okay, so it's right in the middle of when they're announcing it.
When does that start?
Well, it's usually.
I thought it
5:30.
started at like 5 o'clock, but
It might. It might.
we'll be on basically right after they're all drawn.
Okay,
and
that'd
then
be
like I
great.
said, Wednesday we'll go through every single game. We'll give you every single pick of ours for the NCAA tournament on Wednesday.
Let me look at my calendar here, see what I've got. Let's see.
Yeah, turns out it's clear.
Friday, nothing. Saturday, nothing. Sunday, I don't have anything for the rest of my life on this calendar, so yeah, I'll be okay Sunday.
Mark says, does Magic need to ask his wife if he can switch the schedule to watch? That's a good question. And he'll chime in on that. To be honest, Magic is threatening me that he's going to get back at me on the Magic Mike show later on today. So I've been quiet, but I reminded him I also have another show and it's after the Magic Mike show. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Dennis has said, will the picks be against the spread or just a pick of? I don't think we'll have any spreads.
No, we're gonna give you our turn, like our bracket.
Just gonna go over some stuff. You can't expect me and Aaron to have this all figured out that quick.
Yeah, that's right, Dennis. Like you said back here, you have to have a brain in order to think. So I just know where to schedule the shows. So all right, guys, we're gonna go. Magic Mike coming up next, and make sure to watch it. Make sure to give Magic some hell on the chat. Really try to distract him. Try to knock him off his game. I will be there trying to do the same. So, all right, guys, we will see you Sunday for the next Dudes Who Bet Sports show.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,